Hello everybody. Some of the predictions that I made last year have already come to pass. When I talked about Uranus, which is about to go into Aries in March 12th, I said that we were going to see greater unrest, riots, revolts, uprisings, particularly from the young people. Young people, because youth employment is so very high in many countries around the world. Look what we've seen in Tunisia, Jordan, and now, of course, in Egypt. And as far as I can see, Egypt really is a ticking time bomb because not only is the internet down, banks down, trade threatened, the Suez Canal could even close. This has a huge knock-on effect potentially for the rest of the world. And the way I'm seeing it is that we're going to see events unravel quickly. Uranus in Aries is very much about things happening quickly. We're not going to have a whole lot of warning to make changes. So I'm here to try and tell you not to be too impulsive. Uranus in Aries is very impulsive. We've seen it. We're seeing the seeds of this around the world. We're seeing impulsive shooting happening. Look what happened in Arizona recently. An impulsiveness where people are not thinking enough about the consequences of their actions. Make sure that's not happening to you in your life. Don't be pressured by somebody to make a quick decision. If somebody's pushing you into something and you don't feel it's right, you fix signs, you probably won't have too much trouble in digging your heels in, but really try not to be pushed into something, especially if you're having to make a quick decision about it. Now, with Uranus coming into Aries, I am seeing greater unrest around the world. There will be more governments that are toppled. This is going to be a snowball effect, particularly as Uranus comes into Aries next month and is there until 2019. It was last in Aries between 1927 and 35, which was one of the most turbulent periods in history. So you can expect this to be a hugely turbulent period. As well, I've been predicting that we were going to get more earth changes, more earthquakes, particularly things connected with flooding. And no sooner I said that, we had the massive, what the press called biblical floods in Queensland, Australia, where whole towns were just wiped out in a matter of hours or days. We've just had Cyclone Yasi hit Queensland again. Poor Australia, it's getting hit. A third of the US has been hit by these terrible snowstorms. Britain has had its coldest winter for decades, and the list goes on. I could name many more things, and we're at the beginning of these things. So I really felt it was important to give you a heads up as to what you can expect. You can expect that gas prices are going to go up. Food prices, they're already going up, but they're going to go up more. I'm anticipating that inflation is going to start to get a hold in many more countries than we've seen. The governments, they try and make out that inflation isn't happening, but as far as I'm concerned, I think we are going to see rampant inflation. What this means is that savers, people who really save money, your money's just worthless. The poor Icelandic people in 2008, when their economy all but collapsed in a matter of a few days, and people were just left with money that was virtually worthless, that they'd saved a lifetime for. We're going to see more and more of that. Now, this is not about being a doom-monger, but I do think it's important that I give you express notice. Astrology is all about cycles, and it can enable us to be prepared, more prepared physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, for what lies ahead. Yes, Uranus in Aries can mean some new things coming into your life, some exciting things into your life. No question about that. But some of these things may be so different than what you're used to. It may take a while to adapt to them, for you to really welcome these new things into your life. So here's some recommendations of what I think you can do, because I am seeing huge economic, trade, imbalances, crisis coming ahead with the aspects that I'm seeing, particularly with the waning square from Pluto to Uranus for the next 5 years. We're going to see authorities wanting to hold us in, wanting to limit us more, and Uranus wanting to break out more. And this is going to be the theme. What can you do personally? My suggestion is, I've been going on about this for a few years now, is buy some gold and silver. 1-ounce coins and have it in your possession. This is insurance against really the world economy going belly up. We don't know what's going to happen. Uranus, one thing is for sure, it's the element of surprise will be there. It won't be quite how we anticipate, but you can still make some provisions. I would suggest you have 3 months' food in store. Same with water. Water could be unstable. Try to find alternative methods of transportation. We could well have gas and oil shortages. I did say that I thought the price of oil was going to skyrocket with Jupiter-Uranus coming together. That's just what's happening. It's at a 28-month high. I think oil is going to go even higher. So see if there are any other alternatives to transportation that you could have. The other thing I'm seeing is greater electric power cuts coming. Look into ways in which you can become more independent of the grid. It could be through having batteries, deep cycle batteries, through solar power, maybe a little generator for a while. That's of course if we have the fuel to run them on. So these are just a few heads up that I wanted to give you here. I've written an article about it as well, so if you want to go online and read my articles about this situation and how I see things unfolding. I've also got a little book that I've written, How to Survive the Global Financial Crisis. You can get that just as a little download on my website. It's just $5. But main thing is Uranus into Aries. I'm going to be talking more about this definitely as it approaches, how I think it's going to affect our lives. And in the meantime, try to become as prepared as you possibly can. I always believe it's worth preparing for the worst and hoping for the very best. Wish you all well. Thank you very much for listening. See you again soon. Bye for now.